Hello, welcome back to another episode of Somewhere Between a Film and TV podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Daniel Parra.
And I'm Erwin.
And number one, thank you so much for listening and watching. Number two, what are they going to do?
They're going to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please do. Erwin, everything we review always has full spoilers, right?
Sometimes,
yeah. Well, not
all
every
time.
single time. Yeah, we don't know how to review things without them. But, what are we reviewing?
Why am I blanking? A Minecraft movie.
A Minecraft movie.
I didn't know that until the title dropped and it was called A Minecraft movie. I thought it was called Minecraft.
I thought it was called like the Minecraft movie, but then it wasn't. But I guess I don't know if they're trying to like do the singular, like, oh, there's gonna be another one, and then whenever like how a Goofy movie is like a Goofy movie.
It is.
And then
I love those movies.
A Minecraft movie is probably gonna be titled what? Another Minecraft movie. Whenever they make a second one. But what is a Minecraft movie about?
It's based off the game. And there are many references that I understand and don't understand.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Dude, I don't even know, because even in this movie itself, it didn't really try to explain Minecraft.
You know what, though? I didn't mind that.
Right?
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind. Craft another joke. No.
Oh.
I never told you there was another one.
Oh, okay.
You were like,
damn, I was like, dude, that was good.
But, okay, so this is going to be a weird one for me. And I don't know about you, because I had such a strange experience with this.
I didn't have much expectations from this movie.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's get the initial thing out of the way.
Yes.
What is this about? And then I'll ask you the other question.
Okay, so a Minecraft movie is about this guy named Steve. He finds this tesseract looking thing.
Dude, that is straight up from the Avengers.
He's like, this is a portal to another like dimension.
Yeah.
And this dimension is Minecraft, and we just basically follow him. We learn about the world itself.
Yeah.
And then later on, we find out about these pigs that are evil.
Right.
And I guess the tesseract thing gets transported by this wolf to the real world again.
Yeah. What's his name? Dennis, right?
Dennis.
Yeah.
And then all these other people from Earth comes to the Minecraft world.
Yeah.
And basically tries to save the world itself from these pigs.
Right. It's funny because it's not necessarily even called Minecraft. It's called the Overworld, I think.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people that have played this game and they're going to be like, they're getting everything wrong. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry in advance. You're allowed to explain as much as you want to us in the comments.
Down in the comments.
I'm going to give this movie one huge compliment, though, later about that specifically when we get to it. But yeah, it's kind of funny, everything you just said, because I felt like this movie felt like a bunch of different things, but then also had such a singular, like, I thought it had its own identity.
I say it did. Whenever it was just, I think it had its own identity when it was just about the world itself.
And you know why, I think? It's because for all of the I've heard plenty about this movie. Plenty of people who hated it. Plenty of people who really liked it.
Hated?
Yeah.
Oh,
some people like straight hate this movie.
All the people that I talked to was just like, they thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Like, minimum.
Yeah.
If not, they just like, that was fun.
I don't know what's so strange about my reaction to this, and I'm going to ask you the question, but like, I think one huge positive here is who they got to direct this. Because I thought Jared Hess, the jokes in this, they felt like things that are from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
They felt like things that are from Nacho Libre.
Yes.
And we'll get to like all that stuff. But before we do, with this movie, did you love it? Did you hate it? Or are you somewhere between?
I guess I'm somewhere between and then like loving it.
So
yeah, I would say I don't love this movie.
On the way here, I have a 2-minute drive here.
On the way here, it was 2 minutes away.
I was thinking about what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
and I guess I'm somewhere between, right? But I really
no, you're not. You're Daniel.
Oh yeah, that's true. I am Daniel Parra, and I'm somewhere between on this movie. But I loved my experience watching this, and I liked this movie quite a bit. I think I like this movie more than most people, based off of what I've read and what I've seen, because I went into this with, actually, you know what's really funny? Walking into this movie, I overheard people walking out of it, and there were these two adults that were like, You know what? I like that. And they were like, yeah, that's what you get when you set your expectations down to 0.
Yeah. I mean, you should do that with every movie.
You should do that with every movie, and you'll never be disappointed. You still will.
There's some movies out there.
Well, look at our Death of a Unicorn review. But, no, I had a really great time, and part of it had to do with, and I want to mention this right off the bat, your theater experience was how?
Dude, I feel like everyone's going to have their own theater experience.
Yeah.
It's going to be very similar, I would think. Especially if you got to see it like opening weekend.
Yeah.
Because, of course, whenever I got to see it, I think I saw it Saturday.
Uh-huh.
And it was literally, their parents bringing in their kids and watching the movie. And all the jokes that I expected these kids to laugh at, laughed at. And then the ones that are like this.
Dude, these are not jokes.
These
are like
just, the jokes that are like they go over the kids' heads. Yeah. Too. I remember these 2 kids like next to me. Going like, wait, what just happened? What does that mean?
Oh,
and the adults were just laughing.
Anything with Jennifer Coolidge,
yes,
I guess?
basically.
Yeah. And Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
But here's what was weird. These are not jokes. These are like meme things that are said in this movie that I've seen like all over TikTok. It's Jack Black saying lines, right? I guess there was this whole thing where it was like...
always a movie.
Yeah.
Every year that has like, that gets memed.
But this one... actually did well. This one is not Morbius. This one's not Madam Web. This movie broke a box office record over the weekend.
That's awesome.
For, I think, like, biggest video game movie ever.
Dang, that's
even
insane.
Above Sonic 3, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Which I think is a better movie than this. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, I enjoyed Sonic 3 more.
But I like this movie a lot.
Yeah. As
someone who played Minecraft once in Mexico when I was, like, 13 years old on the iPad for, like, an hour. That's my only experience with this.
I know I played Minecraft like in middle school and then a little bit in high school as well.
Yeah.
And then like here and there, like now, but I never really got into it as like others did, where they would just do it for hours, build like this huge world of themselves, and like watching other people play Minecraft.
No, like the Let's Plays and stuff. And I feel like Minecraft is kind of the pioneer of Let's Plays even existing in the first place. I could be wrong about that, but I do feel like that's true.
Wait, what's Let's Play?
Let's Plays are just a lot of YouTubers are very popular for it. A lot of them. Also, there's a tribute to one that passed away of, I believe, skin cancer. His name is Technoblade, which is why people like freaked out when the pig with the crown shows up. Which, I mean, for us, we're just like, I like that design a lot. And obviously,
like, that was cool.
Like Jack Black kind of straight stares at the camera a little bit, where he's like, that's a legend right there. And us, we're just like,
it's like, oh, okay.
Well, I'm gonna have to look up who that is later.
I just accepted. I was like, I get it. It's a pig with a crown.
Yeah, because like even if we didn't know who that was, or we didn't know, even then you'd be like, I mean, it's just like random world building, I guess.
World building.
Yeah, which this movie does have a fair amount of, and I think in a good way. Like, sure, it does have an issue of them just shouting things that are from the game that are like in this, and that's how I know that that's from the game. It's because he goes Ender Pearl, and then he's like throws it, and then people clap, and I'm like, I guess that's from, I guess that's from the game. But Let's Play stemmed back. This game, it's funny because I work with high schoolers, right? Yes. And they are obsessed with Minecraft still, and they kind of talk about it as if it's like from their generation.
Yes.
But this is actually kind of from when we were in middle school. Well, this came out in 2011, this game.
Because we were just, like 12, 13?
We were 12 at the time. And it's the most popular video game in the world. I think it's because of how accessible it is. You can do quite literally anything in it.
You can play it on your phone.
And you can play it on your phone as well.
Yeah.
And my biggest compliment to this movie is I texted you. And I was like, and this wasn't me like saying this just for the review. I'm genuinely going to buy this because I watched it. And I was like, I get it. I was like, I want to play this game now. And I fully understand it. And we'll get it on.
I also love the music in Minecraft as well. It's very soothing. It's kind of reminiscent to like how ASMR is as well.
No, the amount of like lo-fi or just playing Minecraft music in like classrooms, it's very well known for being kind of calming in a sense. And
except when it's nighttime.
Except when it's nighttime, which is something I also liked a lot about this. And
that was so funny.
We'll get into like our actual positives and negatives, because at the end of the day, this is still a movie, right? A Minecraft movie.
A Minecraft movie.
I have... so how do we do this? So
we can talk about the positives first.
Yeah. What did you like about this?
What I liked about this movie was, for sure, the world building.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it didn't really give us any explanation about the like how how to get to this world and like how this world was created and everything, right?
Yeah.
You were just thrown in there. That was great. And then of course I would have to give compliments to just Jack Black himself.
He's very like grandiose in this. He's super over the top.
Yes.
He is Steve. It's like one of the
I don't know, I don't think I can ever get tired of just hearing or like seeing Jack Black.
Yeah. I think the only time I ever got tired of it, but it was mostly the movie itself, was when we reviewed Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yeah.
And I was just really underwhelmed by that. But that was
mine was because of the fox.
Oh yeah. Oh, Aquafina.
Yeah.
That wasn't any fault of his or anything. It's just that movie itself was like such a letdown. But I also thought the panda thing with him was obviously like supposed to be kind of like a call to Kung Fu Panda, right? It just felt like one. And I've also seen plenty of people talk about how we'll talk about like a lot of the negatives and other people's negatives because I've heard stuff that I don't agree with personally.
Yeah.
And one huge credit to this, I think, is I also thought, as much as I enjoyed this movie and I thought it was good, I thought it was on the verge of being something kind of special if it could just like formulate itself a little bit more, tweak itself to be a bit more maybe Jared Hess's thing. Because a lot of the humor, especially at the beginning, where like I didn't get antsy about it getting to the Minecraft world or anything because I thought all this stuff in the weird suburban town was really funny. I thought that
really,
yeah, I did actually.
No, I see. Really? I did not. I think just because of the actors and like their characters in this, I just didn't think it met up to par with at least Jack Black's or like Jason Momoa's. Well, I think Jason Momoa and Jack Black, they were definitely the best parts of the movie. I also
would. I'm gonna add Jennifer Coolidge to that
because I mean she was barely in it though. So I was like, but whenever she was though, I was like, okay, it's funny. Yes.
No, it's because all the teachers in the high school or middle school, wherever they were.
Oh, middle.
Middle school. Yeah. I thought were hilarious. Yeah. Like the gym teacher. Or what was he? A science teacher?
Science gym teacher. He was like every single teacher there.
That's what I thought was really funny.
And then you find out that he was the guy.
That joke pays off really well at the end. Actually, I think. But all this stuff in that school I thought was really funny. Especially but there's his sense of humor shines through because there's a joke that I don't know how many other people busted out laughing at when Jack Black is talking to Jason Momoa and Jason Momoa is like, I lost everything, I'm broke, and then he says, sorry about your finances.
I'm sorry about your finances, bro.
I laughed so hard that
my favorite is whenever they like did this thing and they were just holding each other like that. It was awesome. Other.
Yeah. I mean, of course, with the caveat of, I feel like the main character of this was supposed to be that kid.
I
didn't get that.
No.
So I thought it was supposed to be, right? Yes. In the sense that he's the one that gets the arc, I guess.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really show much like growth or change or anything like that. No. And I was also confused.
Just more acceptance of like, yes, creativity.
Yeah, because I think her name is Emma Myers from Wednesday, the sister. Wednesday. I was like, is she supposed to be an adult? Because I did not.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure she just probably turned like 19 or something.
I think they say that but I was also kind of like, why she looks. I rarely have this complaint. She looked way too young to me.
She looked like she was 13.
Yeah, I was like, are they're brother and sister, right? And then I was like, where are their parents?
Well, she said like their mom died.
Yeah.
I don't know where the dad went.
No, but even then, I was like, oh, so their caretaker is going to be the real estate lady. Yes. I was like, oh, no, they just have their own house. Yeah. And so that just kind of threw me off just based off of, like, she does not look old enough to be in that specific type of role, I guess.
Yeah.
But then she also gets not a whole lot to do.
Yeah. But see, and so was, like the real estate agent as well. Like, she didn't get a lot to do.
Yeah.
The sister didn't get a lot to do. And, like, even with the main character with the little kid, I didn't think he had enough to...
And that's to say,
if anything, it's just more so like him saying, "Hey, that was bad. You shouldn't be doing that." Jason Momoa.
Honestly, Jason Momoa was like, "Dude, so."
I was like, "I'm just here to get these diamonds."
Yeah, no, I understood it. They were like, "Oh, it's like it's on the path, like to the side," but it didn't. I didn't see any issue with it. They didn't ever make him seem like that bad of a person to be doing that anyway. But
like, it made sense.
Yeah, it made sense to me. But before we get to that, back to my positives though. I don't know. It's just like the town commoner people just being super strange was funny to me. That guy that was really passionate about storage units, I thought was really funny also.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And I recognized him from somewhere. Like, that guy looked so familiar.
Oh, he's the guy from What We Do in the Shadows.
That's what it is. There's a lot of like New Zealand alumni in this because Jermaine Clement's in this as yes, his name is General Chungus, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And so is
the names is hilarious.
And so is Matt Berry at the very end.
Who's Matt Berry?
He's also from What We Do in the Shadows, and he's the villager guy.
Oh, who speaks?
Yeah,
yeah, that's funny.
But back to our positives. What else did you like about this?
I think honestly, it's just those three things.
Yeah,
yeah, and like the humor of it as well. I think it definitely works, especially based off that director and how he directed those other movies too. You can definitely see like little bits of it. Yeah, like it made sense.
I'm gonna tell you one thing I straight loved about this: the world. I thought the actual world itself, the entire idea of the overworld, the whatever you want to call it. I don't remember the name for like the pigs and stuff, the villain, but I thought all of that was really well done and really creative. Obviously, it's based off of existing material already that they already set up their establishing rules, but I'm not familiar with that. Yeah. So I don't know who to credit for that exactly. Probably the the people that made the game. Yeah. But I thought, and I've heard this, that when it first turns to night, especially for kids, that it illustrates why that's such a scary concept or like such an intimidating concept. And I thought that was executed really well. Yeah. Because it just does kind of happen out of nowhere. There's a passing like line of dialogue where it's like, oh, this happens every 20 minutes. And I was like...
oh, yeah. It's like it feels like it happens every 20 minutes. Yeah. Which I think whenever you play the game, it definitely feels that way because you're just building and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, it's dark now. And then you realize those other... Yeah. Like, I really like the designs. I didn't think it would translate well like from the video game to like a movie as well, but... It works.
I think it's because they kept, a cohesive look to it.
Yes. It's like, don't change. They didn't change anything.
That initial trailer, I remember people being like, this looks so weird. This looks so ugly. I'm going to say this, though. Around 10% of the green screen in this, I was like, what the hell?
But you can't escape it, though.
But then there are moments where I'm like, that looks genuinely great. Like, this looks like its own world, its own concept. Yeah. There's one moment towards the end where Jack Black just looks like he's very obviously against something super flat. Yeah. And that's when I got kind of taken out of it. But a lot of it, I was like, I feel like I'm really there. But how come nobody called each other a blockhead in this, honestly? But
yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah. Maybe in the second one.
No, they better.
Yeah. I wonder, would you want to see the same characters or would you want to see different characters in the second one?
Obviously, they will keep Steve. There's just no way that they, remove Jack Black. But I have a feeling that they will keep that entire rotating cast of people. Then they're gonna add another one. It's gonna be just like Sonic, I'm sure. They're gonna they're just gonna add one more person. But then I'm gonna be like, I don't know who any of these people are. Maybe I'll play the game and then I'll be an expert by the time the second one comes out.
I wonder if they're gonna because I know there's like side games or whatever, like spin-offs and everything too. Like I don't know what they're gonna do. Like I don't even know. I didn't realize there was like a story mode.
There is. There's so many different things because there's the core game itself and then there's like a dungeon mode. Yes. There's a bunch of other stuff and they could adapt all of that. I'm sure. Yes. One thing I thought, because I already knew about these dudes already, were the creepers.
Oh, yes.
When they first show up and they walk up towards the person, Jason Momoa, I think. Yes. You know the joke that's coming, but of course my audience, one kid, because I guess the whole thing is when they go, oh man, and then a kid, out loud said that in my theater, and then my entire theater laughed, and then the creeper combusted and everybody clapped. And I was like,
oh yeah, that's true. My theater did too.
Yeah, and I was like, is everybody...
Especially seeing the farm of them too.
Oh yeah. Oh, because people make creeper farms and then
because even Jack Black's character, he was like, what was I thinking?
I've heard that people do that. I have a lot of genuine questions about people if they're willing to comment. Like, can you explain what I heard?
Dude, I think it's my favorite thing, because I don't remember who I played with, but I just remember playing Minecraft with like others. Yeah. And it was just funny because of course like you're building one thing, like your own home and like your own area, and then the other person's doing the same thing, and then one person has the urge. Most of the time it's me. And then I'm just like, I just want to blow up everything. you just made.
Yeah, that's rude.
Yeah, and it's so funny because then it just goes back because like all those hours you try to build like a whole village, let's say, and then I'm just like, I'm bored, and then just explode everything.
No, but like he kind of has this wink and a nod thing Jack Black does whenever they're like, why would you even breed all these things? Yes. And then he's like, he gives this look. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm sure other people know what that means, but I definitely don't. And one other thing I really liked visually, there's a moment where Jason Momoa falls down into like the below the ground, and it looks straight like a kind of 2D platform looking thing. And it reminded me so much of the meme whenever it's like the guy mining for diamonds, like where it's like
you stop and
before
everything.
He stops. It's like me in season 1 of this show before season 2, like stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know if that was supposed to be a visual reference to that, but either way, the way it looked, I was like, that's awesome. I thought that was really creative.
That's true. My favorite joke though from this movie was for sure when Jack Black and Jason Momoa were flying together.
Oh yeah.
And they had to do like a
like
man sandwich or whatever. Yes, basically. Yeah. And then there was this one shot where Jack Black is just crawling on Jason Momoa's butt. I don't know why. It just made it seem more than it needed to be.
No, because
I loved it so
the way
much.
they set up the tension for that, I was like, what?
We're gonna have to do this. Like was why the joke that made me laugh out loud.
But they keep saying that and they really stress it. Yes. But the thing blows up before they go through it. So they never had to do any of that.
That's why it was awesome. Yeah. I don't know. That joke alone made me laugh the hardest.
I liked the whole like heist thing in the mansion they have to go to.
Oh, dude, that was fun.
Because that was really fun and really funny. And then of course that was weird too. I think that this movie has a tinge of like all of this is strange.
I kept saying like, chicken jockey.
Yeah.
But I still don't understand what chicken jockey is.
It's just like that little weird Frankenstein looking child that gets on the chicken.
Yeah, but why is it called chicken jockey?
Because whenever you ride a horse, that's what a jockey is called.
Oh.
So he's the chicken jockey.
Okay.
And he rides on a chicken, I suppose, and I guess that's what they're called. And then people like apparently,
is that in the game?
I guess it's in the game, but people didn't understand why they made it such a big deal in the trailers.
Yes.
Which I don't really remember, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I just remember him saying it and like seeing it happen. But that's it.
This is the same amount of people that collectively made that part where he goes, release, like a huge meme also, I guess, where he like releases water. And then
I'm sorry. I can't. Flint and steel.
Dude, I busted out laughing at that just because of the way he said that. Yes. I was like, but I guess
I just hear Poe. Poe from Kung Fu Panda.
No, because yes, this movie does have an issue. Also, this is so made for kids. Let's get that out of the way. Like, that is very genuinely. You're gonna have your 6-year-old cousin at a birthday party, and you're gonna hear him say shit like that over and over and over.
He punches you in the face, Flint and steel.
Yeah, or it's gonna be like release, and then he's gonna pour water on you.
Release.
Have you seen all those
and he
memes?
Throws acid at you?
No, have you seen all? No, there's memes exactly like that. It's like me whenever the worker at the movie theater sees me go release, and then I release a bomb.
Jack sent me a meme like that too.
Yeah, and then it's like a really hyper realistic looking version of Steve.
Yes,
but like not Jack Black, but like the actual Steve from the game itself.
Yes,
and I've seen so many of those. And I want to comment really quick. I don't want to be the downer here.
All right,
but
here you go. You have the syndrome.
But like the whole thing about the theater etiquette here.
Yeah,
I've heard that people are going batshit in the theater. Don't do that.
Like, don't record it too.
People are like commenting. Also, we go to Alamo Draft House. Somebody flash like recorded when the chicken when it's
right there. Somebody flashed.
Got naked. Somebody flash recorded like screen grabbed. Whenever the chicken jockey thing happened, I was like, bro, come on. That's good. I got the most restrained version of what I've seen happening.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Like
my theater didn't have any experiences like to that extent. It was just more so like the kids just, screaming and laughing at the parts where they're all memed out. So
I also noticed that this is kids doing that, right? So like, I mean, in my head, I'm like, Alamo's been showing mostly kid-friendly ones for that.
Yeah.
I saw the one that wasn't kid-friendly, and I mean, people were just clapping, I guess, and then the one person who did that. But
my theater clapped at the end of the movie.
Yeah, they clapped at everything.
Yeah,
that's why I told you I was like, this feels like Avengers. I was like, but if I didn't I feel like my mom. I was like, I don't understand anything.
Why is it
I don't understand anything going on. And it's one of those people who's like, I have to lean over, like, hey, who is that? It's like the 14-year-old kid.
Who's that?
But that, and then people were like, I saw how many people I don't know that have been like, the police have been called on.
Oh yeah.
Like random theaters, and then people have had to stop the screening when the chicken jockey thing happens. The only like the weirdest thing I got at mine is I got a few dudes in a suit like that were.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Did. Which, I mean, that I was fine with that, like because that's just Minions basically. But it was. I feel like if I saw this at home, I still would have enjoyed myself, but. It was mostly the added experience.
It was for me too.
The weird everything.
Yes.
Because it felt like I was sort of teleported into an alternate reality when I like Minecraft has 20, 30 things instead of like the MCU or something. And we're getting like...
I also think that like this movie itself made me want to play the game more. Yeah. If anything, I would probably want to play the game more so than just watch this movie again.
Yeah.
I would probably just watch it like just for certain scenes.
I would happily watch this again. Like if somebody was like, you want to watch this? I'd be like, you know what? Yeah. And then...
No. If it was like... If someone was playing it and I was just walking by, I was like, oh, okay, I'll sit down and like watch it, but not if I had to choose, no.
And then I'm thinking back on the memories. I'm like, I remember when I went to the theater and I had the weirdest experience of my life.
It's a bunch of adults just watching a Minecraft movie,
clapping and everything. But remember, like I said, like people think that this is for 9-year-olds now. This was also for 9-year-olds back in 2011.
Yeah.
And we're like the 12-year-olds from then that haven't known about this.
Crazy.
Isn't it weird that that's
been like over a decade?
It's been around for I think over half of our life. Oh, isn't that strange?
That question I told you about earlier, where it's like, what is your current favorite movie? Somebody said movie. Interstellar.
Oh, okay.
And then my boss was like, "Oh, that one's like really like that one's like current now." And I'm like, that movie came out 11 years ago.
No, Interstellar has officially entered that like film bro like. Letterbox top 4 favorites. Yeah, I mean me too, to be honest with you.
But I'm like, that movie's like a decade old. Like it's not anything new
anymore. Yeah. But what's weird is I could tell you certain theater experiences, right? Like this one, I could tell you the day I saw Interstellar, how I felt walking out of it, me actually sitting there. But that's usually, what you say whenever you remember your experiences of a great thing. But then again, I also remember when I sat through Geostorm, so it is what it is. But
I didn't watch that.
But okay, what are your negatives here?
Oh, my negatives would for sure be like the other characters that were interesting. I think just they weren't as strong, huh?
Like all the other ones.
The other 3, yes. Yeah. Just because they weren't as strong, and every time they were on screen together, it was just more so like it wasn't bad. Yeah. It was just more so that it just didn't compare to the Jason Momoa and Jack Black's characters, which I enjoyed more. Yeah. And then of course I think I was just so eager to like just go back to the Minecraft world and nowhere else at the moment. Like I just wanted to be there too.
I liked this movie's theme a lot about like creativity and just kind of making whatever you want and don't let the people get you down, whoever the people are, right? But
the people
don't let the people get you down.
Don't let society bring you down.
That's why like the kid's like, I'm gonna go to Minecraft world. And then Steve's like, maybe I should go into the real world. And
before he went into the Minecraft world, what did he like? What was his job? Like in the real world, was he like an accountant?
It was like no, it was just like nondescript office job.
Yeah,
it was like
he did something like very specific. Oh, doorknobs. Yeah, that's what it was. Like
he sold doorknobs, which was a really weird. Yeah, I like that movie, as far as I could tell, had like 3 things going on, and one of them was you either worked for the potato chip people,
yes,
or you sold doorknobs, or you went to school and you were a teacher.
That's all you did.
And those are like the 3 things that they talk about. Oh, or you work at a video game store, and you're broke.
That's awesome.
But also that tater tot pizza, I liked the idea of that. I would eat that.
Dude, when they mentioned tater tots,
that's also I think that's a reference. So much. I think that's a reference to Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, I can, yeah,
because of the tater tot thing.
It was also a reference when was it Jack Black was in that arena?
Oh yeah, I thought,
and then he did the thing.
I thought of Nacho Libre also, which is a perfect movie. And
no one's arguing.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Comment down below if you've seen Nacho Libre.
I hope you have. If you haven't, do. But I mean, like we're going through Jared Hess's filmography. Yeah. I don't. How many things has he made? I guess this is like the 3rd best. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I do agree with you. I just think that the experience itself, added more to this movie, because now I can't every time I would watch this movie, I was just thinking about like my experience.
No,
like,
and
people,
it's also because like
clapping.
I genuinely liked a lot of the designs, which I obviously are from the game.
Yes.
I loved how the pig things looked. I think this had a really funny villain, by the way. I really liked that her whole backstory was that they were at like an America's Got Talent thing.
I was thrown off by that. I was like, what?
And they were like, your dancing's horrible.
That one thing, it's horrible.
And they were like, you embarrassed me by your dancing. I was like, and then they said that they could never do anything creative again because of it. And then I think one of my other favorite jokes, I laughed so hard. Whenever he was like, you're going to have a fake knife and you're going to try to stab me with it.
Oh my God, dude.
It's that same joke like 2 or 3 times. Yeah. And I, honestly, the second time, I figured they were going to do it again. But I don't know if it was just like the mannerisms of everything that I like could not stop
It's just whenever
laughing.
Jack Black just goes...
and he goes, come on.
Come on. Like,
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But...
Do you have, what are your negatives?
If we're going through genuine, like, me critiquing the things itself, it's a little all over the place. Like, I think that in terms of the initial setup is really fast. The expository, like, my name is Steve. I yearn for the mines. It's like,
I yearn for the mines.
That's really funny, by the way.
And then the
that's
old guy going,
dude, okay.
You're a child. Get away.
No, the whole joke about that, that's how I noticed, like, the type of humor that this has already. Because he looks the exact same, what was it, 20 years later? Yeah. And then Jack Black is so much older, but the guy looks the same. Yeah. As if he's like, he'd just been standing in the exact same spot. He didn't do any mining or anything. He was just waiting for him to come back and guard it. Yeah. The idea alone there, when he shows back up and I thought that, I was laughing. But that, and then some of the green screen, like I said, is occasionally kind of like iffy. Yeah. For the most part, I think this looks great. And I think that I don't agree with the people that said this movie's ugly. Parts of it are a little like iffy looking, but
I mean, but I don't know what you expect though too. Just because in this type of world though, like everything is so like animated. Yeah. And having it just being so realistic in certain areas, that was great. But like, of course, like a lot of things in the background, you can obviously tell.
Like if there were certain things, like if the things themselves, I think it's because the trailer, the reason why it freaked people out, like why it looked ugly, is because you didn't see this world as a whole yet. I think it works way more in world. And like the alpaca thing, I remember people thinking was ugly. When they tear that thing apart, whenever Jason Momoa was like, oh, this is gonna be our quest giver, and then they killed the thing in front of him,
and it started screaming. I was like, dude, what the hell is this? I was like, this is not happening in the game.
No, but it's one of those things where I was like, this movie's kind of... I was like, parts of this are like randomly mean.
Well, because like they kill a pig and it's like it just turns into a pork chop right away.
I laughed so hard.
That's how it happens in the game. It's awesome.
She killed the kid. Yeah. Like she was like, "Oh, what is that?" And like stabs him. That was hilarious.
Or like chicken lava.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love whenever they ripped up the
that looked chicken. Really cool,
dude.
Would you eat that?
Yes.
I would eat that. Yeah. Of course, that's one of those jokes where it's like, oh, the chicken's hot, and then he's like, no, it isn't, and then it's hot, and you're like, okay. And my other negatives, I guess, are that, like, I told you, I felt like this movie was a couple steps away from being something, you know? Like, I had a good time, but did you feel at all, like, if it just, I don't know, went through maybe another phase of, like, a rewrite, or maybe a bit more solid writing, could have been on the verge of like a really special movie?
I think if they focused, maybe reduce the characters. Yeah. I think that's what the thing. They reduced the characters and they just focused on, for sure, Steve. Yeah. And then maybe have like Jason Momoa and then maybe the one kid. Yeah. And that's it.
I can see what they're going for, right? Like they're like, it's funny. What were we talking about? Electric State, which I fucking hated, which was like going for that 80s adventure. So is this. And you know what? I liked this movie. Yeah. And I felt like,
it was definitely a better movie compared to that.
Oh yeah. Because this one's also at like, I can see where the brother-sister thing could, you know, be something. If they had a guy that was a guy, because this is basically Jumanji with Robin Williams. Yeah. And where like Steve is Robin Williams, right? And Jason
Jack
Momoa
Black is also in the Jumanji movies.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, and Jason Momoa is also kind of like some burnout dude who's like there. Yeah, who I like in those.
Bo Samoan.
Yeah, you're right. At first, I was like, no, but no, they are, and I could just see there's like seeds there, I think. Overall, I thought this was good.
Yeah.
But I thought that there could have been the initial extra step of stuff. Because I don't know if, like, sometimes it felt like scenes were just kind of, they would end.
Well, I feel like they would just introduce, like, these certain, like, key features from the game.
Yeah.
That, like, people would recognize into a certain, like, segment or scene.
Yeah.
Right? And, of course, like, once it's, like, fulfilled, that's it. It's over and then onto the next.
This movie's an hour 40, right?
Yeah, it went by fast.
I thought that they spent the most time setting up the villager people, but then they make such a big deal of them going to the mansion. Yes. I thought the mansion was going to be the third act, and then all of a sudden they're there. Yeah. And I was like, I thought this was good. I thought that was going to be the end of the movie. I was like, they spend so much time, like, saying that, and then they're just there.
Yeah.
And then it's the third act, all the pigs. Oh, dude, I laughed really hard when they were like, they don't attack unless they're provoked. And then the pig, like, immediately shoots one of them. And I was like, and then he whacks him really hard and he flies really far. I was like, that's really funny. But I like Looney Tunes type violence sometimes. Yeah. But then my one other issue is I felt like they didn't have anything for Danielle Brooks and Emma Myers characters to do. They get separated and they don't do anything. Like, all of a sudden...
Well, because, like, even when, like, the other, like, the kid and Jason Momoa and Jack Black, whenever they, like, get knocked out or, like, after the mansion, they get blown up from the bridge and everything, and then they just wake up and then they're there too. Yeah. And I'm just like, they didn't really do much in this movie.
And then, like, they're like, I'm sure Garrett the Garbage Man would have loved your height. I'm like, what do you have?
I was like, I don't know.
Like, based off of everything Jason Momoa's character would have done, he would be like, this is lame. And then would have, like, walked away. But then he would have been, like, secretly like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. Because that was that character, basically. But it's just that, like, sometimes things were, you know, kind of choppy. It felt like they were, I hear speed runs of Minecraft, right? Like the game. I felt like sometimes they were trying to speed run some of the plot points of a movie. Yeah. So they could show more stuff from the game. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of it's cool. I liked the thing with the Enderman.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Apparently that's not how you fight one of those. That's what I read, but I don't know.
No, that's... Well, I mean, didn't he use, like, a tater tot thing? No.
He just whacks the thing over and over.
Well, yeah, that's how you fight it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with whatever you got.
That whole thing in the mansion reminded me a lot of like, Dungeons and Dragons, the movie.
It reminded me of Luigi. Like, the mansion?
Hang on, guys.
No!
There's a fly on the... Okay, we can leave that in. That was weird.
Wow, what the heck?
But I have a question about
the... question?
I have a question about the villager's penis. So is it square, or because you know
it's a rectangle?
Okay, so it'd be because they definitely have sex, right? Jennifer Coolidge and the villager guy, they said that they love each other so hard.
But she's older too.
I don't know why I'm thinking. Guy is.
Whenever I think of sex, I think of pregnancy right away. My bad. What? That's why I was like, wait, but she's so old. Like, she can't.
Are his balls like
square too?
Are they square?
I would think so.
Yeah, I had that question going on like the entire time. Because
my god, you reminded me. What was it? There was a question. So at work, we were talking about Smash and Pass.
Okay.
Right. And we were just no. Well, I think one point we did, but like it was just like random, right? And then I forgot how we got into this one topic where we got to like the characters from Hunger Games.
Okay.
So like the first one, right?
Right.
With what's his name? Liam Hemsworth and Josh Hutcherson.
Okay.
And we're just talking about that, and then at one point we were talking about like I guess sex, right? And like sex scenes.
Okay.
And then people were saying like, oh, like how do you know like if they did anything? There wasn't a sex scene that happened and everything. I don't know. I just thought about that.
From what I understand, it's implied in Minecraft that I guess if you have hearts around you, like, and they do, I guess you've had sex.
Yeah, like the pandas.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I didn't know that. Yeah. I read that in a YouTube comment. You could tell me if I'm wrong. Or
no, that's how it usually goes.
Do you have any other negatives?
No. I mean, there wasn't really a lot of, like, besides that, but even then, it was just, like, it wasn't such, like, a harsh thing, too.
Yeah.
From this movie, because all I cared about was just seeing the Minecraft world, and you definitely got that from this movie.
And I can tell you, I've heard, I'll tell you about the things I've heard from people who hate this.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, this is an affront to cinema. I can't believe you take a kid to see this. This means that this is decline of, like, movies. No, it's not.
What?
There'll be a time, there was a time before Minecraft. There'll be a time after Minecraft.
Yeah.
And
especially now, I'm pretty sure more people are going to start playing Minecraft again.
There's also like one kids movie a year where people like it gets that reaction. And does it ever actually happen? No.
Yeah.
Because there's always something else where, I mean, that whole thing about like, oh, just because it's a kid's movie doesn't mean it has to be bad. I didn't think this was even bad. I thought this was like a good time. It's essentially the equivalent of like, a Happy Meal, which they have Minecraft Happy Meals.
Have you tried it? But I thought the burger was squared.
Was it not?
It's not.
Oh.
It's the box, like the box itself.
Which looks
squared.
Cool. Yeah.
But I thought the burger, I thought they made it into a square.
I think they just made a sauce. It was like, the villager sauce.
Okay.
I don't think it's called that.
Every time I shake someone's hand.
He shakes a lot of hands. There's like
20.
I also liked, dude, whenever they're like, not kill, they're like, trash all their produce. They hate that.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was funny too.
Because you don't really mess with the villagers in the game. That's what's so funny.
I didn't know anything about them. I like how they look.
Yeah.
And I guess that one that gets hit in the car by the car, that was funny. I like that product placement where she's like,
"Oh, yes."
Whenever anybody gets hit by my grand Jeep Cherokee or something like that, I thought that was funny. But honestly, I mean, would you see another one of these?
I would love to see it. I just like to be in that world again, to be honest.
I would like to see a more fleshed out another one of these.
Less human characters,
yeah,
I would say, and then I don't even know what else. I guess based off like the other games, see how much you can explore to, like more of like the caves,
the
and,
ideas
maybe dungeons too
are quite literally limitless, right? Like, I would like to see really anything else. Like, apparently you can do anything in this. Do anything.
Yeah. So
it's. I mean, I guess it's like the game itself. It's limited to your own imagination, which you can do. So. I liked it a lot. Mm-hmm. I mean, my score is not super reflective of that, I guess, but like...
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so.
What would you give it?
3.5 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5.
Oh, nice.
It is a good movie.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. It was fun.
It is a good movie that I loved watching.
I think I just loved like people making memes and then like my experience.
Yeah, I loved my experience, and I recommend watching this movie with a really like amped up, not that type of amped up that I was complaining about, but a really amped up crowd.
Yeah.
Because it's a great time.
That's true.
But overall, what did you guys think of a Minecraft movie? Not Erwin, because he just said all of his thoughts as well.
Yes, I did.
And what's up next?
I don't know. It's like 5 movies coming out last year.
There's so many.
Not last year, next
year. We gotta go back in time. Dude, there's so much stuff that we're about to review. There's going to be Drop, The Amateur, Warfare, Daredevil Born Again.
Dude, that
Daredevil Born Again ends like next week, I think.
There's only, 8 episodes?
9.
9?
Uh-huh.
Damn.
But, yeah, stay tuned, guys. What are they going to do?
They're going to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please do. And if you're mad at us about anything we got incorrect about Minecraft, let us know. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
But, again, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We will see you next time.